I'm talking about people who, no matter what they do, will never
achieve everything.
Even if they even if they exceed what they thought they would be able to achieve, they are still falling in that chasm. Yes.
You know who dealt with that? Michael Jackson. Michael Jackson dealt with that his whole life.
Yes.
He achieved everything. He was the greatest.
Yeah.
And all the while, backstage, he would cry before shows thinking nobody liked him. And there was 50,000 people outside.
So here's what I'll tell you. There is a certain type of a personality profile, which I've identified. I call them sensitive souls. Basically, these are the people for whom embodiment is untenable. Okay? They live in this world of perfection, and the reality of this world is just too brutal, too raw. So a lot of these people have neurodivergent diagnoses, right? But again, maybe there's a Venn diagram where it overlaps. Maybe they're synonymous. I don't care. I'm not here to use the clinical terms. I'm talking about for me, I'm coming at it from a spiritual model. Sensitive souls for whom that it'll be better never to be created is not a philosophical idea. It is a constant, painful reality. Okay. I wrote about, actually, an essay, which I shared with a smaller community, about Michael Jackson, about about his public humiliation at the 2003 MTV Video Music Awards. They needed him for ratings, so they kind of led him to believe, it was his birthday actually. Oh, God. They led him to believe that he was being given an award. Artist of the Millennium Award.
Yeah, I remember this.
It wasn't a real award, it was, he came out and he thought, there was a cake topper, they brought him a birthday cake, so the cake topper was like a treble clef, and he thought it was an award, and he took it he held it like a statue, and then he gave an acceptance speech. They never forgave him for that. The biggest crime that Michael Jackson committed in the eyes of the entertainment industry was cringe. Because this is the biggest crime. The neurotypical world, the biggest rule, and this is more than thou shalt not kill, is don't make me uncomfortable, don't break any of the unwritten social rules, don't be weird, don't be cringe. If you do, we will destroy you. You will pay the heaviest price. They murdered him for it. The crime of Michael Jackson of being cringe, of not reading social cues, of not being one of the cool kids. See, here's the thing. That magical kid who has these unworldly talents, when it is pleasant to consume, the neurotypical world adores you. The moment it becomes cringe or secondhand cringe, they throw you under the bus.
What's the technical term for cringe? It's just cringe is the best to describe
it. Embarrassing. Awkward, uncomfortable, embarrassing.
Every generation
a lot of different
has their
things
own...
to a lot of different people.
Okay, embarrassing, secondhand embarrassment. I say Michael Jackson was a guy who he had this otherworldly, bizarre like talent, and that was no question. When the world enjoyed watching him perform, so they celebrate the weirdo, the delightful, magical weirdo. Mm-hmm. The minute you violate the social cues, or you don't read the social cues, you violate the social norms, that is the worst crime. So personally, when I read the trial, what am I reading? Is somebody being punished for something that is unforgivable and he doesn't even know what it is, and no one will tell him. To me, that is a metaphor for an experience of somebody going through life, looking around, it looks like the entire rest of the world was given a manual how to operate in this world. They all know, they're all on the same page. Maybe they're all attending the same meetings. You're the only one who doesn't know what's going on, and they hate you for it. And they're angry at you for it. And they're going to punish you for it. Because you're being oblivious to their rules as seemingly the biggest threat. So to
Maybe
me,
the rules are stupid. That's why some people don't. It's not just because they don't understand.
Yeah, and that's what the sensitive
it's
soul
it's
says.
fake,
They
it's
say,
false.
that's what it's precisely, and they say it's a stupid rule. And when the minute they dare utter the truth that it's a stupid rule, or they even question, might this be a stupid rule? Then they're branded as rebels and upstarts, and then they're really punished.
Now you're getting to like Catcher in the Rye questions of the fakeness
Okay,
of the
I
world.
think that's it. I think that's also. I think Holden Caulfield is
fakeness- the
also
Holden
part of that
Caulfield, the
prototype.
fakeness of the
that
world, the
same type of,
Falschkeit of the world.
personality.
A lot of these people are struggling
Yeah.
with the fakeness of the world because they don't want to play into the game because they know it's not real. And that only lends to their frustration with the world entirely. Because like you're trying to make your way in a world and all the while it's not even real in ways that have nothing to do with the existentialness of it.
What I'm
it's
saying
not real
is
because it's fake.
there are people who cause major ripples in this world, whether in activism like you were talking about before, or now we just brought up entertainment, or in the arts, or in literature. They make big waves. Why? Because they're discontent. If someone was comfortable with the status quo, be like that guy you told me about what's your dream? Whatever, what I'm doing right now, I'm fine, I'm right. So people who make the biggest waves in the world are the people who are the most discontent. That's the truth. I mean, that's a truism. Obviously, someone who's satisfied with the status quo
Maybe
doesn't
we should make people happier.
But
Then we wouldn't have so many
what
people
I'm trying to
doing
tell you,
this.
Bruce, please listen to this. Sure. There are people listening, probably any weirdo who would click on a thumbnail that says Franz Kafka's Yahrzeit. I promise you there's a disproportionate number of them who have the lived experience of my perpetual angst with existence itself drives me to do amazing things that improves the lives of others, and yet my conditions never improve because I'm still left with existence. So on one hand, I'm being propelled to be this mover and the shaker that's improving the world, bringing Mashiach, But for me, existence itself is untenable, so it never gets better for me.